Hey guys, today I'm doing my first trimester update. I didn't do one earlier because I still hadn't told anyone that I was pregnant, but now that I am 16 and a half weeks, I feel comfortable and everyone knows, so I just wanted to give an update on my first trimester. So weeks 2 to 4, I was craving chocolate, just like I would before I start my period, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Like I had the exact same craving, everything felt pretty normal, I was moody, but like I always am around that time anyways. And then weeks 5 to 6, I already knew I was pregnant. I knew I was pregnant at week 3.5 because I was an avid pregnancy test taker, and I took pregnancy tests starting at 8 DPO, and I found out on 9 DPO, I think is when I found out. But so weeks 5 to 6, I was so tired. And like everyone always says, oh, like you never know what tired is until you're pregnant or until you have a kid, and you're just like, okay, whatever. At least I was. But like I was so tired. Like I feel like someone, I always told my husband, it felt like someone took like a bag of like potatoes and just hit me behind the back of my head, and I would have to take naps like every single day. I was so tired. I was also out of breath, which I am right now, like but now it makes more sense. Back then I didn't understand why, but it's like the increased blood flow. So but I was like, what the heck, like why am I already out of breath? Like, and like just going up and down the stairs, sorry, I'm just like going up and down the stairs, I would just be like so exhausted because we have a 3-story house. So that was something that I noted in my phone. Okay, sorry, my camera just cut off out of nowhere. So back to weeks 5 to 6. Yeah, so I was just super tired, extremely fatigued, and I was doing really weird things. Like I started to like throw spoons away and like put my trash in the fridge. I don't know, really odd things that don't make sense to me that I've never done before. And then what was the other thing? Oh, my sense of smell went up, which has happened with my other pregnancies. Before I miscarried, that was one of my strongest symptoms, was like that my sense of smell was just like so strong, and it's gotten worse, but we'll get into that later. Weeks 7 through 12 were kind of the same. So that's when all of the aversions started. I thought I was like gonna be one of those girls that was never nauseous. I will say I've never thrown up, like still to this day, from pregnancy. But I felt like I was gonna throw up every single day, all day long, not in the morning. It didn't matter if I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It mostly happened in the evening though, around dinner time. I would just get so nauseous, and I would just be like so sick to my stomach, and I would eat cereal for dinner because I just couldn't eat anything else. But I pretty much just ate carbs from weeks 7 to 12. I didn't eat any vegetables or meat. Meat like turned me off, and vegetables did, which is so odd, or it was so hard for me because I predominantly eat like high protein and veggies, like just for my health and my diet, and I eat low carb all the time, and because I'm hypoglycemic, so whenever I have a lot of carbs, it would make me feel really sick anyways. And all of a sudden, I couldn't eat any meat, I couldn't eat any vegetables. I still remember the first night that it happened. I still can't eat Brussels sprouts to this day because that was the last vegetable I had when I got sick. And yeah, so I was only eating carbs, pasta, cereal, sandwiches, bread, anything, like everything had to be covered in bread for me to be able to eat it, and no like nutritional value, nothing. And then I also started drinking Coke again, which I never, like I stopped drinking that like 5 years ago, and here I am. I'm a whole new person. So in the worst way. Yeah, so I had really bad food aversions. My chest felt so heavy week 7 through 12. It's like with it, once week 7 started, my chest was a full cup size bigger. And they're like heavy and they just feel full all the time. They're sensitive when I take showers. Like, it's just a whole nother thing. Like, so when you're feeling nauseous and then that was happening, that was just really hard. I had really bad headaches that every single day I had to take Tylenol. They would just come and go like throughout the day. And so that mixed with everything too, like I pretty much just felt like sick, like all the time, and I'd drag myself to work and I'd just be miserable. TMI, but I was constipated. I mean, that's what happens when you're pregnant, okay? Let's see, what else did I note? Oh, at week 9, I went and got my blood test to check for abnormalities in gender, and we found out we're having a girl, so we're so excited. I can't wait. I'm so excited to have a little mini me. I don't know if my husband is, but I am. I'm just kidding. He's really excited too. But yeah, so that was so cool to finally know that she is a girl. And yeah, so that was like probably the coolest part, like when through all the sickness I got to find out her gender, and I don't know, that was the best part. But there was one night during week 6 that I got so sick. Like I had dinner and then I felt like I had food poisoning. Nothing happened though. I didn't throw up. I wasn't in the bathroom. Nothing happened. Just that feeling that something was gonna happen. And it went all night long. I had to sit on the couch the entire night. I was so miserable. I was like freaking out. I was like, what is wrong with me? I almost like woke up my husband and was like, we need to go to the hospital, because I just thought something bad was gonna happen. Like that just scared the crap out of me. Oh, another thing that scared the crap out of me was, I think around between like weeks 11 and 12, I had cramps, and not round ligament pain. I had they were like period cramps, and I was for sure something bad was gonna happen. I was freaking out. But they lasted all day and into the next day, and it felt like I was gonna start my period, and I was just so sad. I was so upset. I thought for sure something bad was gonna happen, and then they just went away. So don't get your hopes up. But after having 3 miscarriages and knowing that feeling, when I started to feel that feeling, I freaked out. So that was really scary. But everything was fine, thankfully. And I had like a doctor's appointment, like, here I go again, sorry. I had a doctor's appointment like the next week, and everything was great. So I felt so much better. I probably should have just went to the doctor, but at the same time I was still on all the progesterone, everything. So it was like, I'm taking everything that I can take to help sustain this pregnancy. So I don't think there's anything else they're gonna put me on. So it was just kind of in God's hands, and I just needed to trust in him, and it was hard, but everything was fine. So speaking of cramps, I had really bad round ligament pains between week 7 and 11, or week 7 and 12. It's like everything started at week 7. Before that, it was like, you know, a little bloated here and there, but once 7, it was 7 almost all the way through 13, it was just miserable. I had the round ligament pains, so it just always felt like if I got up off the couch too fast, it'd be like, oh, like it just kind of like takes your breath away, but those are totally normal. So yeah, it just felt like a stretching and a pulling, and it really, that's how everyone describes it, and it really does feel like that. It's the craziest thing. And I still had no bump at week 12. Like, I just looked bloated. So I looked like in the morning my stomach would just be flat. I would look totally the same. I'd look in the mirror and be like, what the heck? And then after breakfast, I'd get bloated. After lunch, I get bloated. But after dinner, it was just like my stomach was sticking out so far, and it would be hard as a rock. So you know stuff's like going on. So yeah. But yeah, no bump. Like people would be like, oh, I see a bump. And I'm like, no, you don't. Or maybe I always looked like that. I don't know. Anyways, and by week 12, I had gained 5 pounds, which is, I think, like the max of what you're supposed to gain in your first trimester, but your girl was only eating carbs. So it was kind of inevitable. But you have to do what you have to do to survive. During the first trimester, it's just so hard. And you feel so sick, and you still have to keep doing things. You still have to go to work. You still have to, well, I was gonna say you still have to cook and clean, but I didn't. I just like pretty much gave up on everything. I just went to work and I came home and I napped. And by, I think week 14, I started feeling so much better. So, but anyways, I love watching videos like this and seeing what symptoms other women have or what they're going through. So leave comments below of anything that you're going through, if anything's similar. Also, like I was still taking all of my medicine, and I still am taking medicine up to this point. So it still is quite the journey. But anyways, yeah, so just leave comments below if you have any questions, or if you want to leave your pregnancy symptoms, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.